How do you think about that inflection point? Because you've been through it 2, 3 times. And what guidance would you give somebody building a business that seems not to work? What are the criteria by which you shut it down or which you go, let's just keep plugging away until it succeeds?
Well, the key reasons why I did it was I was constantly looking to the XO 11 principles. And when you look at those and you realize you have a few of them, you're not increasing the odds of being able to leverage. So it's a metric, it's a quantitative probabilistic metric.
Interesting. So you're building business A, my ability to implement all 10 of the EXO attributes is too low, therefore shut it down.
Well, yeah, when you start, you have this MTP, you want to do something, you want to change it. And then you start implementing it. You don't start by implementing all the 11 principles. You start implementing, for example, stuff on demand. Let's say you start there. And you do it, and you're happy with it. So you're able to implement it, it's working. So now you got another attribute. If you get another one, that's better. So essentially, it's a probabilistic decision. You realize after 1 or 2 years. So 1 or 2 years is a lot of time. So another metric you can use is the time you've devoted to it and the intensity you've put on it. If in 2 years intensive work you haven't been able to do it and you're not being able to implement the other EXO principles, why would you be able to do that in the next 2 years after 2 years of intensive attempt? So it's a probabilistic decision. You essentially see and you get frustrated by noticing that it's hard to implement the others. So your odds of making a company that's exponential continue to be low, and you're not increasing those odds. So it's unlikely that it works. You could be making a wrong decision, but then you have to face the other way around, the other side of the coin. What if you change and it works, right? So it's really a probabilistic decision. So I think the best decision is really if you have just a few of the XO characteristics, you're very unlikely to build a unicorn or a company that goes to $1 billion very quickly. So after 2 years, you didn't do it, and you don't see any different strategies to implement, and you did all the strategies you could come up with, I think it's time to shift for another effort. It doesn't mean you're quitting. You're not quitting of your massive transformative purpose. We never quit of our MTPs. We just put them on hold until we have a better solution for approaching them. That's what I did for the housing problem back in 2009 when we tried the thinking. And then later on, 10 years later, I figured out a way that I could somehow contribute towards it.